Hey everyone, today we're talking all about compost, how to make it, how to store it, and what kinds of special things you need in order to keep your compost in balance. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you can get notifications whenever a new Food Indie episode drops. You'll find more information about me at befoodindie.com or on my link tree, also at befoodindie. The one thing that you're going to want to remember is where you keep your compost. You want to have it in partial shade so that it doesn't get too hot and it doesn't get too cold, because worms really like to be somewhere between 40 and 80 degrees. Let me show you my setup. One thing that people always ask about is the compost bin and what kind of bin they should get. I have 4 bins that I want to show you. The reason why I have 4 bins is that they each serve a different purpose. In my garden, I would say that the worm factory is the most important because this is where the worms grow and reproduce. Oops, look who escaped. I'm just going to put him and his friends back inside the worm factory so that they can get back to eating up the food that we've put in there. This is the topmost layer in the worm factory. A mix of food, leaves, and rabbit poop from Lilo and Jaquan. The worms get busy pretty quickly and start to break down this food and turn it into compost. In the next level down, I've added shredded paper to soak up some of the moisture because this layer got a little too moist and we want to make sure that it stays in balance. And paper, shredded paper, is a really good answer. Been following me for a while on TikTok or Instagram, you know that I grow a lot of my food in pots. These are some old containers that I put compost in. I drilled some holes in them so that the worms can live inside and travel between the compost and the dirt so that they continue to provide vitamins to the soil. Most of what you need for your compost is right around you. Leaves, sticks, and your food waste. Don't feel like you have to buy any compost starter or anything else. You've got what you need. Here is the 3rd layer down with leaves and not shredded paper. They work the same way. You can use either one. And just like my food scraps, the worms will eat leaves too and turn it into this beautiful compost. Look at it. This is what it looks like when the compost is finished, and you're going to mix it up with soil. 1 part compost, 3 parts soil. This 2-chambered rotating bin is more of a hot composter and does not need worms, even though I do put worms in there. I'm just adding a little bit of rainwater to keep it moist. To fully break down, food and leaf litter will take about 9 months, but when you add worms, it goes way faster, like 3 to 6 months. Another one of my tips, make sure to remove all citrus, including lemons, oranges, and pineapple. They attract fruit flies, and there's nothing worse than opening your compost bin and getting a mouth and nose full of fruit flies. But don't throw it away. Citrus can be used for pest control, and I'll cover that in another video. Next, we're going to move on to the 80-gallon composter, which I call the Beast. This is where I put all of the garden waste so that I have a place to store it after I've collected it. So right now, the compost is really dry. It wasn't so dry a few days ago, but I added some bamboo leaves to it because I had some flies and I wanted to keep the flies out. But what I ended up doing instead was getting it a little too dry. And you can see there are lots of worms. I added them, but we want to get it a little bit wetter, so I'm going to add a little more food waste, mix it up, and see what we have in the next couple of days. The food waste that I include is peels, coffee, eggshells, but I do not put any dairy or meat. And of course, the worms help move the process along. I hope you enjoyed this video all about composting. If you have comments or questions, please drop them below. I love getting follower questions, so let me know if there's anything from the garden that you'd like to see, and I'm happy to do a demo for you. You can find more information about me at befoodindie.com, including my podcast, blog, and other videos. Thanks so much for watching. Happy gardening!